Hello and welcome everyone to Talk to Tony Wilson. Today I have a presentation for you on the infection control and COVID-19. At the end of the presentation, you'll be asked a question. It's not a test. I'd just like to hear your thoughts on the question that'll be asked. So stay tuned and I'll talk to you in just a few. The chain of infection and COVID-19. This presentation is for those that are interested in understanding the chain of infection and how it relates to COVID-19. Also is for those that's interested in understanding how to prevent the spread of infections. COVID-19 is the pandemic of 2020. There may be many questions about the difference between a pandemic and an epidemic. An epidemic is widespread in communities, whereas a pandemic is a spread that spans worldwide. The actual name of COVID-19 is the novel coronavirus. Novel is a Latin term for new. COVID-19 is a new strand of the coronavirus that some may have heard of from the past. Infections, including bacteria, viruses, fungus, and parasites, travel in a cycle in order to spread from one person to another. Understanding what happens during the cycle gives us key to preventing the spread of these infections, including COVID-19. As we look at the chain of infection, we see that it is a continuous circle that replicates itself unless there is a break in one of the links of the chain. The purpose of understanding this chain is to learn how to break that link to prevent the spread of infections, such as COVID-19. Chain link number one, infection. They are small organisms that is not always seen with the naked eye. These microorganisms are called bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites. Chain link 2, the source, which is sometimes called a reservoir, which is a place where infections live, grow, and duplicate, and more commonly found in warm, dark, moist areas. Chain link 3 is the exit portal. The exit portal is the route an infection takes to escape a source, such as through blood, the respiratory tract, skin, mucous membrane, breast milk, and from mother to unborn baby. Chain link 4 is the mode of transportation, or the vehicle that allows the transfer of infection. Common vehicles include a sneeze, a cough, or contact with infected surfaces. Chain link number 5 is the portal of entry, which is the point where the infection makes contact with skin, mucous membrane, respiratory tract, or from mother to baby. Chain link 6 is the susceptible host, which includes any person or animal that could suffer from an infection. Looking at the chain of infection, notice the arrows have turned from orange to red. Think of the colors on the signal light, where you have green, yellow, but we're substituting orange, and then you have red. Green means to go, but looking at the chain of infection, notice that the green means a continuous circle of infection. Each time the link meets creating a complete circle, that means another person has come in contact with an infection. The orange arrows, similar to the yellow signal light, represents caution and let us know that we need to stop soon. But what do some of us do at a caution light? Some of us do slow down and prepare to stop, while others will speed up to get through the light before it turns red. Then there's the red light. What are the dangers of speeding through a red light? Well, if you're lucky, you may make it through okay. But consider how many lives you put in danger. Red tells us to stop and that continuing on can be dangerous. So, looking at the chain of infection as it relates to bacteria, fungus, parasites, and viruses such as COVID-19, the orange arrows tells us to slow down. We are risking our chances of catching and spreading an infection. For COVID-19, the virus enters through our respiratory tract, our nose and mouth, and possibly mucous membranes. And we already know infections thrive in what areas did we say? The moist, warm, and dark areas. COVID-19 enters the respiratory tract and exits through droplets when an infected person cough, sneeze, and talk. So, looking at the continuous chain of infection, what are your thoughts on what we need to do in order to prevent spreading COVID-19? How can we break that chain of infection? Well, instead of me answering that, how about leaving me a comment either on my Facebook post or my YouTube channel and just let us all know your thoughts on what we can do in order to prevent spreading COVID-19. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you've learned something and are willing to share your thoughts on what we can do to prevent spreading infections such as COVID-19. I look forward to reading your comments. Again, this concludes another talk to Tony Wilson, and I will say, have a great day.